Nacho Average Tabletop. Woohoo!
Welcome to Nacho Average Tabletop. I'm Zach,
And I'm Mac.
and today we're giving our first impressions of Green Team Wins. And this is a party-style game from 25th Century Games, which I don't know that they do too many party games, but I've heard good things about it. It sounds like it's one that's kind of approachable for pretty much anyone. And yeah, we've played this 3 times over this last weekend with family, so I would say that it definitely fits the party style game, and pretty much anyone can play it, I would say. And yeah, so going into it, I was about as excited as I could be for a party style game. I'm always hoping that they'll be good, and that they'll be kind of replayable type things. And sometimes I get disappointed, and other times I don't. But outside of that, I wasn't like, oh, this is going to be my next favorite all time game. But I guess you probably didn't know too much about it.
No, I don't hear about games very often unless they're popular, I feel like. And I was hearing about Green Team Wins, so I didn't really know what it was about, but just based on the size and style of the game, it definitely looks like a party game from the onset, so just kind of like, whatever, gotta try it because I feel like we do a lot of family gatherings and we play a lot of party games. Some are hits, some are misses, some get old. So sometimes it's nice to add a new one into the mix. So kind of just hoping it's another one to put in the rotation. So
Right. Yeah, and I think overall it was received pretty well. Because yeah, this one is it's pretty simple. Usually a lot of the party style games are on the more simple side. And this one is no different than that. You've got kind of 3 different types of prompts that you can be given, and then based on that, everyone gives an answer. So some of them are like this or that, or pick one of these three, or write a single word. And yeah, so all those are relatively simple. I guess the coming up with a word could, I guess, sometimes hold you up if you can't think of anything. But outside of that, the other ones, I mean,
yeah,
you've got multiple choice pretty much, which is nice. I think that's a good thing to have that in there, and that's 2/3 of the questions because you get 5 of each of those different types of questions, and then just go through that deck, and whoever is in the largest group of people that answered the same will be on the green team, which will get them a point. So you're not necessarily always trying to answer just what you think it is. It's what you think the whole group is going to pick, which
it's not
is
at all
interesting.
about what you think
Right.
is right or obvious. It's about what you think the table is going to say.
Oh, right. Yeah. And I found that sometimes I thought the table would say something else, and then I put that even though I believed in the other one, and then the table all picked the other one. I'm like, well, I don't know if they were thinking the opposite or what.
Yeah. It's a really fun psychological game.
It is, just trying to outthink your opponents, and your brother was trying to influence the table the one time.
I think your brother was trying to influence the table all of the time.
He might have been, but your brother started humming, I think, Starry Night.
Silent Night?
Silent Night.
Oh,
He was trying to get people to do that. I had already written mine down.
I don't think I even
Silent
heard
Night.
them.
Yeah.
I had written it already.
I don't know if anyone else noticed what he was doing. I'm like looking over at him. I'm like, oh, you. Which I already had that written down, and he wrote it down. And I think that was the winning one. So I'm like, the influence.
Yeah. He did it.
Yeah. Overall, I mean, we learned it in less than 5 minutes, and it plays in probably 10-ish minutes. You can kind of probably play however many of them you want, but otherwise, I mean, the 15 feels like a good amount too. I mean, the one time we pretty much played back to back, so we played like 30 of them.
Well, I think party games just set a limit. That way you can be like, oh, okay, we're done. It's over. That's because otherwise there's no end to the game, so you literally could just go on.
Right. But yeah, it's kind of like the Just One or some of those other games where really you can kind of just keep playing until you want to stop. But yeah, they have guidelines of what you can follow so that you have an end in sight if you're not a fan of the game. But I would say, after my kind of first plays of it, my impression of this one is probably a 7 to 7.5, especially for the party game genre. I think it was pretty good. I think the only thing I'd be worried about is the number of prompts. I think
Hmm.
if this one was like one that you were going to all the time, I think you'd get through them
Sure.
relatively quick. If you had a lot of gatherings, a lot of the time.
Mhm.
If you're getting back to it like once or twice or maybe 3 times a year,
Yeah.
then it's probably more than enough. But if you were meeting very regularly and this was always the game you're going to play,
Same
I
people.
think you'll probably run out. But I think that's probably the case with most party games that have kind
Mhm.
of those, I don't know, words and stuff or whatever it is.
It's different
whatever the
though
game is.
from like Just One or So Clover because you
Shouldn't
know
matter in the
cards
group.
can come out, but you're not always picking. Because it's 4 options on a card, and with So Clover, the placement and stuff changes with each one, and
That
so,
one feels like it changes the most out of if we were comparing this Just One and So Clover. So Clover
Mhm.
feels like it's the least likely to match up.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say this is
The most,
not
yeah.
in that group. Or would you say it is?
I would say it is.
You say it's different each time?
Oh no, I mean no, I agree with what you were saying.
Oh, okay. Maybe it could be. I mean, from group to group, it might depend
No.
what that group thinks on
I mean,
something.
we do big groups with the same people a lot.
That's just it too.
Yeah, no, I agree. Because I was gonna say, I mean, I know now what my family would answer to certain ones.
Right. And I wonder, if we did it more with my mom and dad, because if we played with your family, I wonder if the answers would be slightly different or
Yeah.
the same. I think a lot of them would be the same, but it could be a little bit different, I think, from family to family.
Guess we'll have to find out.
We'll have to find out, or we could play it with the Volmers and see what they think.
There we go.
See how wrong they are
Watch out,
about the
Vols.
answers. But yeah, otherwise, I guess, what is your scale? You don't really necessarily always give them scores, but I guess
Yeah.
how likely are you to get it back to the table?
I don't know. Party games are so hard
In
to
party
rate
game.
because like a 7, 7.5 for a party game versus like a 7, 7.5 for a Euro game is way different. I feel like.
That's true.
Um,
In my grand scheme of all games, it's
Yeah.
probably going down to like a 6 to 6.5, but that's just because
Yeah.
I'm not like if
Yeah.
it's only 3 to 4 people, I'm not going to suggest this game
Yeah.
just
I
because
think
I
I
would
think
prefer Euros.
party
but-
games are just a necessity for board gamers like us. A lot of people play party games and like the board games that they play. So I think this is an excellent choice if you're in that grouping.
Yeah.
And I think for a board gamer group like we have, it's fine to integrate more people into it. I wouldn't say it's a game I'm gonna want to play all the time or every family gathering, just because I think you're right, the repetitiveness, and we also are blessed to be able to have like 85 other player party games.
I don't know if we had that many party games.
No,
but
85, but we have a few more
We have a lot
to
of
choose
games.
from, and so I don't know that this would be one that I'm going to say let's put on the table every time, but I think it's good, and it's solid. It's not tiresome like I feel like some other party games have gotten. So.
Yeah, but yeah, that's our initial thoughts on this one. There's not too much in the box, but you can go check out our unboxing video of this one. And yeah, otherwise we hope to see you on that video. And as always, don't forget to keep on nibbling on our content.